Okay. Generation 2. Are you talking about Gen 2?
Oh, I love this gen so much.
Gen 2's got a lot of... Yeah, I love Gen 2. So we're talking about the period of time between 1999 and 2002. This is, of course, the Johto region. This is Gold, Silver, and then Crystal. Alongside those games, on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, was Pokemon Stadium 2, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, huge fan. Such a big improvement over the last one.
When I think about the Pokemon franchise, like, I always say Platinum is my favorite game ever in the Pokemon series. Yeah. But if I could say Crystal with Pokemon Stadium 2, then that might, be my favorite Pokemon game, just because I love it. It adds so much post-game content to a game that already has so much content.
It was super challenging, which was, unheard of back then. The amount of challenge you got from, the different towers and, rental teams and stuff.
That's a whole other thing. You could just have fun sitting down with some homies, either as a kid or nowadays. Just, pick 6 rentals, let's just go. You know what I mean? Drunk Pokemon Stadium is actually a really good time if you just sit down with, Stadium and some drinks.
Dude, I've been wanting to try to play Pokemon Stadium for a while.
That'd be fun.
I want to relive that.
That'd be good.
What was your favorite minigame in Pokemon Stadium 2?
Pokemon Stadium 2?
Yeah.
I would probably say I like the Hitmontop one a lot.
Yeah.
When you have to hit each other out. I like... me and my brother especially got really good at the Blissey one, or the Chansey one, when you had to catch the eggs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
It has the counting one, where you have to count all the Pokemon that run by. That one's really dope. Dang.
Yeah.
The Mr. Mime one, where it's Breakout and you have to bounce the ball.
My favorite one for sure is the, it's got to be the Scyther Pinsir one.
Oh, the timing one, where you have to...
Yes.
Ding, 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 yo!
Yo! It's just for that noise. I love the yo! That's why I like the Slowbro Sushi go round in the first one.
Give me sauce! Give me sauce! When you have the wasabi.
Oh, the sound design was so good.
The Stadium games are so good. It's later they have Pokemon Battle Revolution, which is a lot of what Stadium offers, but it doesn't have as much personality. Oh my gosh. And the announcer in the Stadium games, oh my gosh, dude.
He's out of here!
Take it down! Yeah, it's like an old-timey baseball. Like an old radio host.
Yeah.
Take it down from the word go!
It was super effective!
I love it so much. Dang. Oh, now I just want to play more Stadium.
Yeah, for real.
It had the Gym Leader Castle. And much like the actual Gen 2 games, after you beat the Gym Leader Castle and beat the Elite Four, you get to battle all of the Gen 1 Gym Leaders.
So freaking cool.
It's so much content. It's so sick. It's so
they actually had good teams, too.
Yeah, and then the round 2, which I actually streamed a year ago at this point. It does get hard. Yeah, it gets really hard. The round 2 mode.
Yeah, we've seen you and Sigmund fall to quite a bit of it's lunacy when it comes to teams.
Hey You Pikachu also came out during this time period.
I never got that one. I always wanted it. It was the freaking coolest concept in the early 2000s or late 90s.
The commercial for Hey You Peach is so funny. It's so stupid.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it,
so
just definitely look it up. It's so dumb.
Yeah. That's what got me to wanting to buy it for sure.
I don't think I could enjoy that game now because I've seen people play it and it looks like it's very non-responsive. But I imagine as a dinky little kid, 4 years old, 5 years old, I would probably be really into it. But
I wonder if they got that idea from that weird Sega Dreamcast game with the fish.
The Seaman?
Yeah,
I don't know what came out first. Because the Dreamcast came out 98 or 99, and Hey You Pikachu came out in 99 or so. So I have no idea when the Seaman came out. What came out first?
Release date. Give me some on the site research.
Yeah, that's cool.
1999 it came out.
Hey You Pikachu?
No, the Seaman game.
So I don't know, maybe that did come out first. They could have, I'm sure.
Let's see, look it up, Hey You Pikachu.
Sure.
They came out in 1998! Let's go!
Oh, wow, okay. Hey, this is Davy chiming in from the future. I totally made a mistake here. When I was taking my notes, I marked Hey You Pikachu as being part of Gen 2 for some reason. I don't know how I made that mistake and got the years mixed up. We should have talked about it during the Gen 1 podcast, but I liked the discussion that Pokey and I had here, so I just chose to keep it in. I'm sure this is the last time I'll have to make clarifications like this. But anyways, let's jump back into it.
Game Freak on top of that. Let's go.
For the Game Boy, we had Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, which was like Pokemon Puzzle League, but on the go. And Japan exclusive, they got the Pokemon Trading Card Game 2 in the subtitle.
And gets everything good, man. Everything
Here comes
good.
Team Great Rocket. So it just added a bunch of the expansion kind of stuff. Like, I think it added, like, Jungle and, like, Fossil and, like, the Rocket cards. I had no very little information about this, so I could be wrong. But it did add some of the expansion stuff that the actual card game had.
It could have been that popular, because I feel like the really popular stuff that was in Japan that doesn't come to America usually leaks to America.
Yeah, like, it had to.
Like, a while ago. But I don't know. It's just nothing that's brought up a lot.
Yeah. The Gen 2 games, just Gold, Silver, and Crystal, they sold 30.12 million. We're still talking sheesh numbers, but remember, this is about 15 million less.
Yeah.
So about 2/3 of what Gen 1 sold as a whole.
That's not bad, because, like, you gotta admit, like, Pokemon, like, the OG Gen 1 games were a freaking hit. So if
that was, like, take, like, everything 90s, like Power Rangers, Teletubbies.
Just
like,
demolished it.
Combine it all together, Pokemon's still probably bigger.
Put it in the trash. And if you're only doing, like, 15 million less, like, I'm pretty happy about that, honestly.
No, I mean, this is at no point are we not talking big boy numbers.
Oh yeah, where there's a reason it's stayed around for 25 years.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so welcome to the Johto region.
So much new stuff.
There's a lot of new stuff. Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna list this off rapid fire. Okay, so there's 100 new Pokemon from Chikorita all the way to Celebi.
Sheesh.
You can play as a female now. In Crystal.
Gender equality. Let's go.
Pokemon Crystal is also exclusive to the Game Boy Color. You can play Gold and Silver on the original Game Boy, but there's a lot of enhancements if you play on the Game Boy Color. There are 2 new Pokemon types. There's the Dark type and the Steel type. One is immune to Psychic, the other one resists Psychic, so I wonder why they added those.
And the other one. Wait, is Steel type resistant to poison, or is it just like...
It's immune.
It's just not affected by poison moves.
Yeah.
Or it can't be poisoned, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you can tell the designers realized how powerful Psychic was.
Yeah.
Because Dark is like a perfect counter for it, and Steel resists it as well. Mm-hmm. There are shiny Pokemon now. Whoa.
Yes.
Of course, we have the classic Red Gyarados in the Lake of Rage.
They definitely just wanted to show off the color display of the Pokemon colors.
Yeah. There's a purple Charizard now. That's the Charizard shiny. At least it's changed. It's a black Charizard now, but purple was the thing back then. It's kind of cool. In Pokemon Crystal, when Pokemon would appear, when you'd send them out of their Pokeball, they would animate, do a little animation when they came out. Which
little
is pretty
jig.
Neat. Little jig. Give the Pokemon some more personality. There are legendaries that roam around. So of course the beasts, Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. They would just roam around the world. You can rematch trainers. You know, youngster Joey. Youngster Joey will call you up. Youngster Joey will call you up and tell you about his pristine Rattata. Yeah,
in the top 1%.
The top 1 percentile Rattata. Yeah.
He's taking all the wealth.
The game has an internal clock now, which is also one of the many reasons why it's very hard to find a working copy of Gold and Silver now unless you've replaced the battery. There's a day-night cycle because of that. And so there's special evolutions like Umbreon and Espeon that happen during the day-night cycle.
Yeah, and also different bug type of other Pokemon that come out during only the day and night.
Yeah, there's nocturnal Pokemon, like Hoothoot, very true. This is big. Not a lot of people talk about this one. Like, obviously Gen 4 has this physical special split, but through Gen 1, there wasn't special attack and special defense. There was just special. Now there's special
another
attack.
nerf to Gen 1 Psychic Pokemon.
Absolutely, right? The menu as a whole has just been improved. Some of the in-battle icons, like you can see the EXP bar now, which is nice.
It's so much faster, too.
It's much faster. The UI is better. There's now weather effects. You can have sunny day. You can have rainstorm, or rain dance. There's sandstorm.
That's crazy.
Pokemon...
That's crazy that they had rain back then.
Yeah. Not nearly as big as it becomes in like Gen 4 and Gen 5, of course, but yeah. Pokemon have friendship values now. You can take your Pokemon and get it a massage underneath of Goldenrod City. You can make it hold a Soothe Bell. Certain Pokemon evolve from high friendship. There are eggs! So that wasn't the thing yet. There was a daycare in Gen 1, but you could literally just drop off one Mon. And that was it. Now there's eggs. Pokemon. You can breed. You can produce more Pokemon. So that's a whole can of worms. Because there's breeding, Pokemon have genders now. which is also really fascinating. There's the Little Cup. You can battle with baby Pokemon in Pokemon Stadium 2. That's a thing. And there's also held items, which is like huge for competitive. That's wild. Like leftovers, thick club, things like that from this gen. Not to mention berries make their appearance in this gen as well. There's 2 regions. 2. But you finish Johto, you cross... this is like always was like the coolest part of the game to me.
Yep.
It's like you defeat Claire. I think it's Blackthorn City, which is the dragon. She's the 8th gym leader, dragon type. She's Lance's little sister. You defeat Claire and go through all that BS where she's like, you didn't actually defeat me. You have to go blah blah blah, do the trial of the dragons, which I always thought was lame. But you get the 8th gym. You get the 8th gym badge. You cross the water next to New Bark Town, and a little, the little sign that appears in the corner of the screen that tells you when you like enter a new area. It pops up and it goes like Kanto, and you talk to the first NPC, and it's like, "Welcome to Kanto." It's like, what?
Your mind is fucking blowing.
As a kid, I was like, "What the frick? Are you kidding me?"
Hell? I didn't even know about that for like a long time, and then my friend was
sick,
like,
dude.
"Yo, just go this way and just check it out."
Right?
And I
it's so cool. It's so
I was like, "What the fuck?" I've been playing this game for like an extra 32 hours, just not even knowing about Kanto. Like I was just like leveling up my Pokemon and trying to capture different Pokemon.
Yeah, there's seriously there's a butt ton of content. So there's 16 gym leaders, the Elite Four, the bonus battle with Red. You fight your rival a bunch of times. There's all of the trainers from Kanto, all the trainers from Johto, and there's so many areas to explore and catch Pokemon, and just it's really awesome. Yeah,
they really killed it. They just outdid themselves.
I can't say it at all. Well, the mindset at the time, from my understanding, and this is from like developer interviews and stuff like that, but at the time, they were under the impression that Pokemon was a fad, and to a degree it was, especially in the 90s, you know what I mean? And it hasn't really gotten back to the success that it had the first generation. But they were under the impression, this might be the last Pokemon game we make, so let's knock it out of the park. And like, whenever I think of sequels to video games, I always hold like Gold, Silver, and Crystal as the standard that developers should go off of. Like, if you make a sequel to a game, think about all of those new features that I just listed off. I probably missed a ton, but all those new features I just listed off. All the quality of life improvements, all the extra content in this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This isn't like a Call of Duty kind of sequel or like a Madden kind of sequel. This is a beefy sequel. This has so much content added to it. And like changes up the formula, but in a good way.
This is like Borderlands 2 base game versus like Borderlands 2 like Game of the Year edition.
True.
Just like a ton of stuff.
Borderlands 2 is a good sequel though.
And, a freaking amazing sequel. Another knockout of the park. And this game only fit on 1 megabyte of space.
Is that what it was on the Game Boy Color?
Yes.
On the Game Boy cartridge?
Yes.
That's insane.
1 single megabyte.
Another thing I really like, and we talked about story before, and how I like when it's more subtle. When you go back to Kanto, you see all those original gym leaders, all those original people that you've interacted with in the first game. And they've aged. Like, Brock and Misty are older. I love Blaine's story. How you go to Cinnabar Island and it's destroyed. A volcano has erupted recently. It's literally just like a pile of rubble where the island used to be, and Blaine just lives in a cave, and he's like, I didn't want to leave the island, so I'm still the gym leader here. And I was like, geez, that's like so metal. What the heck?
It's pretty dark. It's pretty fucking
Giovanni, runs away or whatever after he's outed as Team Rocket's leader. He retires. So Blue takes over as the Viridian City gym leader. That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's like an incredible. It's like watching The Thing and then the Thing prequel. Like, you just get to like pick up so many little plot points that were left behind from the old games.
And all the while, trainers that you talk to, like Professor Oak, for example, talks about this really powerful trainer that like he used to work with. And you keep like getting hints at this really powerful trainer, and then you get the permission to go to Mount Silver and you climb to the top. And it's your freaking main character from the first game. It's so cool.
Yeah, that was so awesome.
Awesome.
There's a reason that it's probably one of the most overly fanboyed over like battles of all time.
But like it deserves it. It's so hype. It's so cool.
And they really like do a good job with his team. They pick out all the good favorites.
So it's Pikachu, Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, and then it's like Espeon and Snorlax.
Yeah, it's Snorlax.
So it's literally like the 5 starters. And I mean, we spent all this time talking about Red and the games. We haven't even talked about the Johto starters yet. So let's jump into the Johto starters. So now that we're done fanboying and geeking out about Gen 2. These starters are really solid too. I've said recently they're not my favorite, but I still really appreciate them. I think they have a very like simple kind of design to them. They're all monotype, so grass, water, fire. They don't have any secondary typing to them, which I mean that's a good thing and a bad thing, whatever.
Don't want to make them too overpowered. Yeah,
and I'd rather have them be on the more simple side than be too detailed like some of the more recent Pokemon. So I still really like them. I have a ton of nostalgia for Cyndaquil, the whole Typhlosion line.
Oh heck yeah!
I love Chikorita. Bayleaf, of course, because the anime is incredible, right?
Yep, she's just like such a star.
And I really like Feraligatr. So I mean, I think all of these are really good choices. And Pokemon Coliseum makes me really nostalgic for these Pokemon too, because you get to choose one of them too. Yeah.
True. I definitely think that out of like all the middle evolutions for Pokemon, these got to be like kind of on the lower end. Like not the worst.
You don't like Bayleaf?
I like Bayleaf. Like honestly, Bayleaf's honestly the coolest one. I don't like Crawdon.
Croconaw, yeah, Croconaw.
Croconaw, yeah. And
I always thought Croconaw looked like a caveman to me. Like he has that that yellow like sash across, and maybe that's what they're going for, like a prehistoric like gator kind of look. But it looks like he has like a caveman like loincloth across his chest. Am I the only one who sees that? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I could see it, honestly. You just look so. I just don't. I'm not a fan of the look. It might just be Croconaw, honestly.
Because I love Totodile. I love all these starter forms. Cyndaquil's super cute. Chikorita's awesome. I think the thing about the Cyndaquil line is like there's very like subtle transformation. It literally just gets taller. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it literally just gets taller. Like it doesn't grow wings or like grow cannons. Like let's talk about Gen 1. Like Bulbasaur, the flower on its back starts to like overtake its body until it's this like hulking frog dinosaur with a giant ass flower on its back that emits like poison. Squirtle turns into this tank of a creature with cannons on its shoulders. Charmander turns into a dragon, you know what I mean? Here, it turns into, Totodile turns into a little baby alligator, into a big alligator. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they would kind of go for like a kind of a prehistoric-esque theme, honestly. If you think about it. It
kind of looks like it, yeah, because, I mean, at least with Meganium, it's like a long-necked dinosaur. Is that Brachiosaurus? Yeah. So it's called?
Brachiosaurus, yeah.
Cynical is kind of like it's like a badger. I don't really.
Yeah, like a early mammal type.
And then you got like old school like gator kind of vibes for alligator.
Just a giant crocodile. It kind of gives off that vibe. I see what they're going for. Like,
I mean, the entire aesthetic of Johto and Johto and Sinnoh are my two favorite regions, kind of for this region. But like both regions have this really like spiritual kind of vibe about them. You know what I mean? Like Johto has the temples everywhere. And it's clear that the people in this area of the world of Pokemon are way more connected to like the spiritual side of things versus like Kanto, where they have 3 to 4 cities that rival the size of Goldenrod. You know what I mean? Like Goldenrod City is like a New York big kind of city in Johto, but there's only one of those big cities. Everywhere else is like kind of more of a small town. They have temples everywhere, like the Bellsprout Tower and like the Burnt Tower and like the Silver Tower. You know what I mean?
Wasn't Johto like based off of Kyoto?
I think it was. I think it was Kyoto. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Kyoto is a lot more of a spiritual-esque city compared to I think Kanto was like a more like sprawling field type, lots of mountains-esque part of Japan. So I think that they just like took also the culture that was surrounding Kyoto as it's more spiritual. So. I definitely see that. It reflects in a lot of the themings they use with Pokemon, especially the legendaries.
Yeah, so let's talk about the legendaries. So, just about as one more than what Kanto had, one more than Gen 1. We have 6 now. So we have 3 legendary beasts.
Thank you, Suicune.
Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. I like all of them. I think they're all awesome. I think Gen 2, it doesn't have nearly as many legendaries as some of the later gens, but I think all of them just hit. You know what I mean? I think they're all really good. I like the lore how Ho-Oh is sort of the guardian over the birds. Or no. Ho-Oh's the guardian over the beasts, sorry. Ho-Oh's the guardian over the legendary beasts. And then Lugia is sort of the guardian over the birds from Kanto, which I always thought was really neat.
They kind of contrast, whereas like Lugia is more water, ocean type, where Ho-Oh is more like mountains, nature, fire.
What would you say is your favorite legendary beast of the dogs?
I'm gonna have to give it to Raikou. Raikou is just like,
yeah.
He's just got such. I love the coloring, the white, yellow, blue.
Mm-hmm.
I just like how he's electric, and he feels like the fastest of all of them. Even though it's probably gonna be Entei with that one. I think Entei's like just ridiculously fast.
I think Raikou's faster. I could be wrong. I think.
Well, stat wise.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but lore wise, I feel like Entei's way faster. Just based off the movies is what I'm thinking. And I love Raikou. What about you?
I think Raikou's my favorite too. I just love like the thunder, like the thundercloud kind of like tail that it has.
Yeah, they're all based off of like similar animals. Raikou is just like a freaking saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, for real. Cool. And then like Suicune's kind of like Suicune looks the most like a dog. Like I feel like everybody calls them legendary dogs. Raikou and Entei to me look like tigers.
Yeah. I always thought of Entei as like one of those big fluffy mountain dogs.
Oh yeah, like one of the what is that? Like a
Mastiff.
Mastiff, yeah, like a big mastiff. Like you could like ride it into battle if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. Raikou was a freaking saber-toothed tiger. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I definitely think Raikou's my favorite. But I mean, like I said, I like all of them. I think they're all really cool. Suicune, just think Suicune already gets so much attention because of Crystal and stuff. And then there's Celebi, which I mean, they never had to do this, but I mean, starting with the first generation, we have this trend now of. And they call a mythical Pokemon a Pokemon that is not accessible by normal means. Usually you obtain them through some kind of event. Get to go somewhere and have this be traded to you, or in later games get like a code for the mystery gift option. Celebi has like the same exact stat line as Mew. Can't learn all the moves like Mew can, but it's that like pixie kind of Pokemon, or like that Mew type of Pokemon where it's like a base 100 in every stat. Usually is part psychic, but Celebi's really cool. It has like that lore of like the time travel and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was super duper sick, honestly. Yeah. Like, and the way that the event went too, like, was very interesting.
Yeah, I like Celebi a lot.
Mm-hmm. It ties. Where could you get Celebi back in the day?
I don't know if Celebi was ever distributed in North America, and I could be totally wrong by that. It was only released via events in Japan.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, how do you do that?
I think the only way you could get it now was through Pokemon Go.
They had an event recently where you could get it by signing up for like the Pokemon like newsletter or whatever it's called, like the Pokemon fan club online, and you can get a shiny Celebi because they have that new movie that just came out, like the Jungle movie with Zarude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Dang, they really did not make this easy for Americans. They really, I guess like they didn't have as big of a presence in America, or at least like they didn't have the resources to organize such a thing in America.
I don't.
But it's easy. Well, if you think about it, it's like they operate in Japan, so it's easier for them to like organize like events and like.
Yeah, no. It's definitely easier to do it in Japan, but they have like Nintendo of America and stuff with how much money it's making.
But it wasn't Game Freak. It was just Nintendo.
Yeah. Like, they could have, but I mean, they didn't have to. Pokemon was successful.
Yeah. I just don't think it was... They probably... I don't know. They just really don't like America, I guess.
And that was a whole nother thing, just like the Mew truck thing. You know how, you could trade with previous gens? Like, you could move the Pokemon up to Gen 2 games?
Yep.
You would do, it was like a time travel kind of thing. It was really weird that you would do at the Pokemon Center to trade them up. And I always thought that, you could go through the time machine and then travel to that forest where Celebi's shrine is and somehow find Celebi there.
That sounds possible.
That's not a thing. But, as a kid, you're like, oh, heck yeah, of course that's a thing. Right?
Yeah, it's a time machine. You should be able to go back in time.
Gen 2, I love the protagonist in Gen 2. Both the boy and the girl. But I love the boy protagonist design. Like the backwards hat. Like the yellow and black hat. I want to say,
cool.
Is it Ethan?
Yeah, it's Ethan.
It is Ethan? Okay.
Yeah, and Lyra for...
Lyra? Is that what it is? Lyra?
Yeah, or Lyrie or something like that.
That's cool. Are you looking it up?
Yeah. Lyra, yeah, I was right. Haha!
It is Lyra, dang, good. Up through, the first 2 gens, at least I still call them, Gold and Silver as their names.
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
I guess I call her Crystal and the rival Silver.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So it's just interesting that they have names, but they don't really make it too known. They probably did it in the manual or the or isn't their actual name always the first option?
It's one of the options, yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you choose, boy or the girl?
I play as a boy.
Yeah, me too. I was horribly sexist as a 11-year-old child. But
it was purely sexism that made me pick boy.
The gym leaders look so much like more personality driven.
They have so much more character.
They got a lot of color and a lot more detail.
It's probably my favorite collection of gym leaders.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, Faulkner is, like, he's got, like, the pretty boy hair, and he's, like, taking over the gym for his dad.
Whitney's got pink hair. It's adorable.
I like Bugsy a lot. Bugsy's really cool. Yeah. Whitney's cool. I mean, Whitney's annoying, but she's cool. I love Morty.
Morty's so cool. Oh, Morty's sick.
Chuck is dope. He's, like, training underneath of a waterfall when you find him. And he's got Poliwrath. Jasmine is cool. Each of these, you also interact with them outside of their gyms, which is the first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't really talk to gym leaders outside of the gyms before this game. You do a lot of stuff with
especially help Jasmine.
Yeah, right? You do the whole lighthouse thing. And this is another thing, like I was talking about with Gen 1, with Gen 4, or with Gen 2. After Morty's gym, you can go to Chuck's gym first. You can go do the Jasmine Lighthouse stuff if you want to. You can go east instead and go do Price stuff. You have a lot of options. The issue with that, there's a problem. The issue with that is, like, each of those gym leaders have, like, level 35 Pokemon, because the game recognizes you could kind of go do this in whatever order. Yeah. So the game kind of plateaus for a little bit there, and then picks back up when you get to Claire. I would still rather have that kind of build-up than just very linear like we see in some of the more recent games.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, it like gives you so much more of a unique experience, like to compare to your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wait, you could have gone to the island first, or you could have gone this way.
Yeah,
and everybody's got their like own way. They like. I always went lighthouse, across the sea to Morty, and then went to Bryce.
Yeah, I think most people climb the lighthouse, get the directions from Jasmine, go across, fight Chuck, get the medicine while they're there, go back to Jasmine, fight Jasmine, and then go to Price.
I think on my second playthrough, on my second playthrough, I went straight to Morty and just got like absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. The Elite Four is pretty dope. It's made some adjustments, but I like how Bruno is still there. So like there's that continuity of the first game. Koga has sort of been promoted, which I always thought was a really cool, like, subtle piece of lore. Like, I guess gym leaders can be promoted. And so like his daughter, when you go back to Kanto eventually, his daughter has taken over the Poison Gym in Fuchsia City, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that got me so excited for when Kanto opened up. I'm like, wait, if Koga was in the Elite Four,
what happened?
And I could go back to Koga's gym, I need to see what happened. And then you see his daughter, and you're like, what? He had a daughter. So cool. We
have Will, the Psychic type user. He's solid. And then Karen, which is just before you fight Lance at the end. And Karen uses like Umbreon with like Confuse Ray and Toxic and like all the degen strats just before the end of the Elite Four.
I think the overall difficulty went up. I don't think it was just the typing, like just like the changes to like the physical special split.
Well, I also think they use more strategy now. I think they use more strategy now too.
The AI was changed from what's the most super effective move against that type.
Yeah, like Koga does a lot of double team stuff. I think Bruno has some one-hit KO stuff. I think he has like Fissure on like the champ, for example. And like Karen, does that Confuse Ray, stuff like that. And then you fight Lance at the end. He has I don't know if he has any more dragons, but he has Aerodactyl, he has Charizard, he has Gyarados, he has 2 Dragonites or something like that.
Yeah, Aerodactyl tripped me up. I did not expect Aerodactyl to be that good.
Yeah.
When you first fought him, I was like, it's Aerodactyl? Aerodactyl's lame as heck.
Yeah.
And he just, like, earthquakes you. What the fuck?
Team Rocket is back, and kind of fallen from their former glory. I like him in this. I like him in this gem. They're a little more like desperate than before. They're kind of get Giovanni back, trying to get the band back together.
That was so cute how they're just like hoping for Giovanni's return the whole time.
Yeah, if we steal a bunch of Slowpoke tails and then goof off at the Lake of Rage and then capture this radio tower and call for Giovanni, he'll show up, right?
Yeah, he does show up, just to call them idiots.
So there's no real like clear leader of Team Rocket in this gen, which is kind of a bummer, but I still really like them. Like, they have the different admins, and they get more personality in the Soul Silver and Heart Gold remakes, but
I thought your rival was going to become the new leader of Team Rocket.
Oh, honestly. Silver? Yeah. Silver's really cool.
He's got the little lore that he's Giovanni's son that gets revealed in later titles.
Yeah. And Silver's like the last of the dickhead rivals, which I really miss.
Ah, man. I miss being insulted by my rival.
Right?
And then we got this schmuck over here, Professor Elm.
Yeah, Professor Elm. He's like
low tier.
He's like the nerd in the action movies who's like carrying a stack of papers, and he's like Oh, jeez, like pushing his glasses up and he drops all his papers down.
How's this man gonna get cornered by a zigzagoon?
Well, that's Hoenn. That's Professor Birch, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. How do you meet him in the beginning?
Professor Elm? He asks you to go pick up Oak's parcel, or go deliver a parcel for him.
Oh, yeah. He's the one who gets excited about eggs.
He's all about eggs. So every professor, at least most of them, have made some sort of significant discovery in, like, the Pokemon universe. So Oak, is putting together Pokedex, obviously. Elm is, like, big on eggs. That's his thing in this generation. So.
Yeah. I think Togepi's worth his plainness as a
yeah, that's cool. They give you an egg at the start of the game, and I think it has a chance of being a variety of things. They could either be like an Elekid, a Magby, a Togepi, and maybe some other stuff. I'm not sure. But I always thought that was really cool.
I got what's it called? The Electabuzz
Elekid?
Yeah, I got Elekid, and then I did another playthrough, and I got Togepi. I was so hype.
Togepi's sick. I love Togetic. Alright, let's take a quick detour talk about the anime.
Yes.
To me, because they still had Misty and Brock, I never really, thought that the anime had changed. I mean, obviously they called it Pokemon Johto, and now the title sequence was even more of a banger than the first one. Like seriously, the Pokemon Johto anime title sequence, the song, is so much better, in my opinion, than the original. I think the original's so overrated, but the Pokemon Johto song is so good.
It's just such a catchy banger. I'll listen to that on daily. It's not even like a nerdy nostalgia thing. It's actually a legitimately good song.
It's a dope song.
It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you still gotta catch 'em all. Be the best that you can be.
We have Ash's team has a shiny Noctowl, and I don't even think they ever actually mention it in the anime. It just happens to be a shiny Noctowl. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Don't even think about it.
Cyndaquil, Totodile, Bayleaf, and Bayleaf was the MVP. I remember.
Yeah, Bayleaf was a key player in a lot of the games, and Heracross. Heracross was definitely a carry on the team. Pikachu, overpowered as hell by now. Just ridiculously strong.
I mean, much like the original anime, I really like the second series, if you want to call it that, I guess. I mean, there was Orange Islands in the middle too that we didn't talk about, but yeah, I like the Pokemon Johto anime. I can't really complain.
Yeah, this is when the anime started kind of diverge off from the games completely.
Yeah, there was a lot of goofy stuff they kind of added in.
Yeah, and they the only thing that they really had in common with the games was the setting and the route to the gyms.
Yeah.
But when you gotta fill a heck of a lot of Pokemon episodes, you're gonna kind of go off to the edge. These were all both these series were on WB Kids right about now.
Yeah, was it Gen 3 or Gen 4 they switched to Cartoon Network, I think, don't they?
It was Gen 3, yeah.
Okay. In Pokemon Advance. What it's called.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm a beautiful Pokemon. Advance, but yeah, so WB was the main place to watch these kinds of. WB was having a good time. They had Yu-Gi-Oh, Card Captors, Astro Boy, Beautiful Joe, Mega Man.
I remember Astro Boy.
Warrior.
Astro Boy's sick.
Yeah, Hi Puffy, I'm Mayumi. Ahead, Powerpuff Girls. It had a lot of. It had a lot. It was
Girls?
Yeah, they had Powerpuff Girls on WB.
That was Cartoon Network.
Oh no! Oh, sorry. I was reading the one where they're talking about how Toonami was kind of the antithesis to WB Kids.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, it had some. It was a banging network. This is also when merch started to get really good for Pokemon. I feel like.
Yeah, let me pull up a graphic really quick that I saw.
Oh yes, you got a graphic for the merch.
Have you seen this before? Pokemon it's actually insane. So we think the games make a lot of money, and they do. So
yes, I see it.
So the yellow on this graph, and if you're just listening to this, you'll have to imagine what I'm saying. But over 60 billion of Pokemon's revenue since 1996, 60 billion has just been merchandise. So clothing, plushies, things like that. Maybe a fifth of this has been video game sales. So Pokemon does not rely on the video games to make money. It's the merchandise. It's clothing and plushies and things like that. Trading cards is actually kind of close behind video games, maybe half as much.
This is definitely the key example of the games are just made to sell toys.
Yeah.
Or like the series is just made to sell toys.
And remember, this is above, Mickey Mouse. This is more than Star Wars.
Oh, also owned by Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh, also owned by Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that's insane. I didn't realize Winnie the Pooh was such a high-grossing franchise. What the heck?
Oh heck yeah! Oh man, Winnie the Pooh killed
more than Star Wars though.
Dude, they got like Winnie the Pooh for toddlers is just so popular. It's crazy.
But yeah, all that to say, Pokemon makes a lot of money.
Holy shit! And this is when I started to see Pokemon everywhere.
Yeah.
I think once you saw the Pokemon cereal. Remember the Pokemon cereal that came out?
I do. Remember the Pokemon? Remember the Pokemon Wraps?
Yes, the Pokemon Wraps.
I had the Pikachu's Jukebox CD. And it had the Pokemon Rap and all the songs from the anime. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember Pokemon Blue or Red having McDonald's merchandise, McDonald's toys. Mm-hmm. But Gold and Silver definitely had some McDonald's toys.
Yeah.
And they were pretty popular, so they kind of went wild with the merchandise. That's when I was like, oh shoot, this series is more than just the games.
No, to me, this is when the series kind of peaked, and I don't think the series ever declines a ton, but I think there's a few moments where the series has some really high points, and this is definitely one of the high points in my opinion.
Yeah, this is up there.
Yeah,
I think the only thing that could possibly match this would, I don't know, maybe Pokemon X and Y. When it came out on 3DS.
Like X and Y a lot?
Yeah. Well, that's when, I felt like they started going to hardcore shill mode again. Mm-hmm. And they, with, the release of, because when the Pokemon centers start popping up in America?
I don't know. They had the Nintendo store for a really long time. And
and that did have, they did have Pokemon merchandise there.
Yeah,
so that's
the bottom floor was the Pokemon
2001.
Center.
Yep. 2001, yeah. The first Pokemon Center opened outside Japan.
Yes, that's
in New York.
So that's Gen 2. There you go.
This is when it started getting wild.
You have any favorites from this generation? Any Pokemon or anything in general? Besides everything we just said, we clearly both really like this gen.
If I had to say, I'd have to say maybe Quilava is definitely my all-time favorite from this entire generation.
You do like Quilava?
I love Quilava so much, but you know who I love more? Actually, Tyranitar, who I always forget is from Gen 2.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
Feels like such a...
That's your favorite Pokemon ever, right?
Yeah, of all time, easily.
Tyranitar is one of those Pokemon that you can't even use them in your main playthrough because you can't catch Larvitar until Mount Silver, and even then, you have to sit there and grind a pseudo legendary with a really slow EXP growth rate just before the final boss of the game. So barely anybody uses a Tyranitar.
He's worth it though. He's just he's Godzilla.
T-Tar's sick. Yeah, he's literally Godzilla. T-Tar's really
cool. I was in love with Godzilla back in 2001. That's when the one with what's his name? That's a lot of fish.
Yeah,
that Godzilla. Came out.
There's a lot of really dope Johto designs. I feel like people forget about too. Stantler is really cool in my opinion. I like Macargo a lot. It's just a lava slug. I think is really neat. I love Blossom. Like you were saying, Vileplume last gen. I love Blossom.
Blossom's so cool.
Little hula Hawaiian dancer. I love it so much. It's so cool.
Skarmory is just a big steel burb.
Yeah. I feel like I group Gen 1 and Gen 2 together so much in my mind, just because it's from that phase of my childhood where it's all just glued together. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of really dope stuff from Gen 2. There's also a lot of really forgettable mons too, though. There's Spinarak and Ariados. There's Quillfish. You know what I mean? Nobody talks about.
Mischievous. Nobody remembers Mischievous.
True, and that goes back to what we were talking about last gen. There's Dragon and Ghost types, and they've been dying for somebody to throw them a bone. And so they gave them one new ghost type.
Yeah, that's just a single.
And they gave them one new dragon. You know who the dragon is?
That would be freaking, who is it? Dunsparce?
Dunsparce is the normal type. Dunsparce is
wait, I'm thinking of...
That's another forgettable mon. That's a mean mon, though. People like Dunsparce just because of how, miserable it is.
Dunsparce is just incredible. Who's the dragon type?
Kingdra. They added Kingdra this time.
Kingdra, yes! Man.
Water dragon, really dope type thing. I love Kingdra.
Another cool thing they did is just give a lot of of the Gen 1 Pokemon an evolution.
It was a really good transition from Gen 1 because it still had plenty of callbacks. It was too early for it to be nostalgia, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It was you were hyped to see the next. It was just a natural
progression. Here's some Pokemon that existed previously. Look, they can grow now, or they have baby forms now, you know what I mean? A lot of Pokemon got babies. Electabuzz got Elekid, Magmar got Magby, Jinx got Smoochum. They got they added Kingdra, cool stuff.
They definitely did a lot of cool stuff when it comes to
Politoed
Pokemon
is really
design.
good.
Yes, Politoed. He was underrated. He got better. He got some more love in the later gens, but he was pretty cool. Togechick was just an
Togetic,
interesting
yeah, I love
evolution.
Togetic. Well, Togepi
Yeah.
wasn't a Gen 1 Pokemon. Like, Misty had it early in the anime, but
Yep.
it didn't exist until Gen 2.
Yeah, they dropped like little hints like for Gen 2 and Gen 1.
Like Tracy had a Meryl, and then Misty got the Togepi. So like every anime generation, they kind of tease some Pokemon early on. Like we see like Bonsly in Gen 3. And by the end of Gen 2, I remember there's an episode where Kecleon appears, which is like the chameleon from Gen 3. This is your favorite part, Pokey, where I talk about the soundtrack from this generation. And it's got so many bangers. I actually have the soundtrack on vinyl, so I'm just gonna say that and move on. Okay, you can roast me later.
No roasting. That's just like a goated soundtrack.
Yeah.
So many good memories from just. Oh man, you could literally just like leave the Game Boy on and just have that be background noise. And it would just be as good.
I just love all the town themes and stuff. The battle theme is really good. The champion theme from Gen 2 is really good.
Oh man, they went hard. The red versus blue like theme, or the red battle theme.
Yeah, it's the same one that plays for Lance, but yeah, it's really good.
New Bark Town was a banger, honestly. That was like a good like intro to the game.
I like Goldenrod. National Park is a really good song. It's like one of my favorite video game songs ever. Ecruteak City, it's really good. Okay, that was our thoughts with Generation 2 of the Pokemon series. Not too many bad things to say about it. We both seriously love Gen 2, so hope you didn't mind us fanboying all over it. When we come back, we're going to be looking at the Advanced Generation with Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, as well as the remakes for Fire Red and Leaf Green. So thanks for checking this out.
Content.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we will be back with Gen 3 after this.